The 70s. No phones, no internet, just bikes, cartoons, music, and freedom. It was the time of bell-bottoms, muscle cars, and unforgettable rock and roll. We did things that weren't always safe, but made the best memories. So join us as we travel back in time to revisit these 15 things only those who grew up in the 70s will remember. Ready? 1. Atari. Thanks to the Atari 2600, video games became a part of everyday home life. Any Pong champion here? Then you'll remember how this one ruled the 70s. A black screen, 2 white lines, and a little square ball. It was simple, super fun, and felt like something from the future. Pong was everywhere, at home, in arcades, even near the exits of department stores. Then came Space Invaders and Asteroids, which was my favorite. And if you grew up in the 70s, chances are you remember the thrill and the terror of the high dive too. Every public pool had one. And if you were brave enough to climb those steps all the way to the top, you were instantly a legend. Every summer, the pools were full of kids. You look up and say, "That's not that high." And then you climbed up and looked down. Oh my! Thought I'd never get back. Good times. Other places had water slides. We had courage. And yeah, belly flops, they were part of the fun. 3. Bike freedom. No cell phones, no social media, just the wind and your wheels. A bike was more than just a toy. It was freedom. Kids rode everywhere, no helmets, no GPS, just you. It didn't matter where you went, maybe to a friend's house, the little store, or just riding around for fun. You knew which way was fastest, where the road was bumpy, and which houses had dogs that would bark and chase you. It was a great time to be a kid. We were never inside, always playing, always getting dirty. Grab your bike and be home when the streetlights came on. No calls, no texts, just being a kid without worrying about anything. And honestly, it makes me sad that kids today might never feel that same kind of freedom. We sat there with a big bowl of cereal and didn't move until almost lunchtime. But only on this day, because nothing beats Saturday mornings. You'd wake up before your parents, turn on the TV, and sit right in front of it for hours. Cartoons played all morning. Super Friends, Bugs Bunny, The Jetsons, one show after the other. My favorite? Scooby-Doo. No streaming, no pausing. If you missed your show, you had to wait a whole week to catch it again. And the commercials, honestly, sometimes they were just as fun as the cartoons. Pure 1970s magic. 5. Bellbottom Jeans. This one was everywhere, and it was impossible to miss. Boys wore them, girls wore them, even teachers wore them. They were the iconic 1970s look. The big hair, the vibrant colors, and of course those bell-bottoms. Farrah Fawcett made them famous, rocking bell-bottoms throughout her career, especially in the first season of Charlie's Angels. And let's be real, she made them look way too cool. Who else remembers? Another true childhood classic, the bowl cut. Parents loved it because it was easy and cheap. Just grab some scissors, a real bowl, and start cutting. Some kids hated it, others rocked it with pride. But let's be honest, almost everyone had it at least once. If Pete Rose could pull it off, we figured we could too. Learning never looked or sounded this cool. Before cable TV and apps, there was one show that made learning feel like fun. The Electric Company. It was loud, colorful, and full of crazy skits, catchy songs, and cool animations. And guess who was on it? A young Morgan Freeman. Yep, he was part of the cast. You might not remember all the lessons, but you probably remember.
Hey, you guys!
8. Book covers back then. School books were reused year after year, so you had to keep them neat. The solution? Brown paper bags or grocery bags, whatever you had at home. So we'd wrap them up and start decorating. Markers, doodles, band names, bubble letters. We could draw anything we wanted on them. It was a chance to show off a little style and maybe pass the time during a boring class. 9. There was something special about vinyl. Album covers were bold and colorful. Some had posters, others had lyrics you could read while the record played. And when your favorite song hit, you played it again and again. Anyone else remember lying on the floor just staring at the ceiling, letting the music take over? 10. Jaws. This movie made a whole generation afraid to go in the water. Jaws wasn't just a movie, it was an event. People lined up around the block to see it, and once they did, a simple swim in the ocean didn't feel so simple anymore. Some kids were even scared to get into swimming pools after watching it. No joke. So, how old were you when you first saw this 70s classic? And if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. 11. Who remembers baking a cake with just a light bulb? Easy bake ovens were a staple kid's toy. You'd pour the tiny mix into the tiny pan, slide it in, and wait. All powered by a regular light bulb, it took forever to bake. That thing was a real lesson in patience. I think I started baking that cake in 1975, and it's still not done. 12. All you needed was a bike and a ramp, and you were Evel Knievel. He was everywhere, a true hero for 70s kids. He jumped over cars and buses, and every kid wanted to be just like him. We built ramps out of wood and bricks, trying to fly over tires with our bikes, and who could forget the legendary stunt cycle toy? A classic. While he had his Harley, we had imagination and a bike. Back when a piece of wood and some bricks would provide hours of fun. Way better than social media. This was the best time to grow up in. The drive-ins were the best. You'd pack the car with snacks, maybe a few friends in the trunk if no one was checking. It was a classic American pastime. Families, couples, it was a whole event. Good times. People got out and enjoyed life back then. We went just about every weekend all summer and loved it. 14. Shows like American Bandstand, Sanford and Son, Good Times, and The Jeffersons were more than funny. They were part of the week. Great memories of watching those shows as a family. Let's not forget Soul Train. These shows helped define an era that's long gone. Everyone had a favorite. Which one was yours? 15. Ready for the last one? The 70s had the best music, no question. Funk, soul, disco, rock, soft rock. Whatever your vibe was, the music had heart. You could feel it in the bass lines, the guitar solos, the smooth harmonies. Songs had meaning. They told stories. They brought people together. We played records at home, sang along on the radio, and danced like no one was watching. So, did I leave something out of this list? What else do you remember from growing up in the 1970s? Tell me in the comments. I love hearing your memories too. Thanks for watching.